Hey guys, welcome back to Specializing in Nothing. I'm your co-host Omar Reyes, and this is Carlos Perez. This time we're going to be talking about the NFL free agency part 2. Part 2. So, where do you want to start?
Let's start with the team that really kind of transformed itself this offseason. The New York Giants.
Giants
went from a team that could probably, that division is horrible, but a team that legitimately probably is now the front runner
in that division. It should be. They should be. The Eagles are dysfunctional. The Washington football team don't have a name.
But they have a squad.
The football team got a squad. But at the same time, these signings the Giants got, the big one, they signed Kenny Golladay to a 4-year, $72 million deal.
That was a huge deal, yeah.
$40 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed. That is a big signing. Kenny Golladay he's a stud.
He's worth it, man.
And, I don't know what's going on with Detroit. They just lost two of their best players.
Yeah, Detroit is a mess.
But they're still going to stomp you out.
They're going to bite your kneecaps.
Bite your kneecaps.
They got some kneecap getters over there in Detroit. I think that's what they're just looking for. I don't think Kenny Golladay was a kneecap kind of guy.
I don't think he was.
Let's get him. But yeah, Kenny Golladay, huge signing. Other huge signing, Adoree Jackson. That arguably, that makes that secondary ridiculously scary. James Bradbury, Adoree Jackson, and then you got like Darnay Holmes at nickel.
Mm-hmm. Another signing I'm looking
at. 3 safeties who literally can do it all. Play free, strong, corner, box, with Jabril Peppers, Logan Ryan, and Xavier McKinney. So that secondary is loaded over there in New York.
The secondary, I don't think they need to worry about. They also signed Kyle Rudolph.
Yes,
who's a really, really talented tight end. I feel like this now just puts the pressure on
Danny Dimes. Got no excuses.
No excuses this time around. He's also getting arguably one of the best running backs in Saquon Barkley back. So he should produce.
If Danny Dimes is a mediocre quarterback, that team is still going to win some games.
Exactly. And they should, being a even if he's mediocre, they're going to win the division at the very least. Or they should. Because, think about it. They're going to go up against the Eagles twice. They should win both of those games.
Okay. The football team's going to go up against the Eagles twice.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, let's just stay on in the NFC East for a bit.
That is the NFC East, the football team.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Let's stay here for a little bit. Dallas Cowboys. I have no idea what they're going to look like.
They got Dak back.
They got Dak back. That's cool.
Dak and Dak is the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah, he's. I wouldn't even argue it. He is. Last year, before his injury, he was on pace to break all types of records. Now, their defense is what sus. Mm-hmm. They need to spend draft picks on that defense. Yeah. Because they were getting into shootouts and narrowly losing those shootouts.
Yeah, but you also quarterback play plays a factor into your defense, right? If you're constantly having to defend on short field, you're going to give up a lot of points.
Fair. Yeah, and there's no arguing that. That's why, the fact that the Cowboys dealt out huge deals to 3 offensive players that since have really not done much. Okay, well, Dak is a lot more recent. It just happened a week or 2 ago, so we'll see what happens with that. But, my guy Ezekiel Elliott, he wasn't really that.
Once again, they didn't have a quarterback, right? You load the box because the guy who's throwing the football is going to make the play, so you can just load the box on Zeke every single down for the most part.
So do you think they made a mistake giving that big contract to Dak?
No, I think the contract was warranted because the quarterback market is going to go up, right? The salary cap's going to go up. The quarterback market is going to go up. So paying this much for a good quarterback, we talked about this a while ago about the 14% of the cap. No quarterbacks ever won a championship, but it's a modern day NFL. These prices are going to go up if you're a great, talented quarterback. That's hard to find. A good quarterback is just hard to find in the NFL, period, point blank. So you needed the money. I think that offense is obviously going to look a lot different because you got a guy who can make the throws also and a guy who's mobile in the pocket, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's going to open up the lanes for Zeke. He'll be a lot better this year. Same thing with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's going to play a lot better this year because he's going to have somebody that can throw him the football. They also have CeeDee Lamb was one of the most.
CeeDee Lamb
Second to
was,
Justin Jefferson is probably the
CD
second best wide receiver in that
yeah.
rookie class.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb was going off, and
So
obviously
I mean,
that's
the offense is going to be beastly. Like you said, the defense should play better because the offense is going to put them in better position to succeed.
Yeah, and again, the Cowboys have focused a lot when it comes to like their earlier picks in the last few years. They focused a lot on offensive players. I feel like now is the time to go on the defensive side of the ball. Use those first couple of picks you have for
barring who they draft, that puts them in the conversation. But I still think it's a 2-horse race between the football team and
the Giants.
And the Giants now.
Now the football team. The question is who's going to be the starting quarterback. They signed a $10 million deal with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I think either one of those guys. If you go Fitzpatrick, he's a winner.
He's a winner.
If you go Heineke, he showed a lot of promise in that game against. He gave the Bucs their toughest game in the playoffs. And it's not even close because the Bucs smoked everybody.
That's true. I remember after that game, we were talking about it, and you were just like, the Bucs had trouble with this team. They're not making it far in the playoffs because it's true. You had what were they? How many were there? A 7-9 team.
Yeah.
The football team.
Yeah, 7-9.
And
I think
they did give the
because that team is a lot better than it looked. It's just they were going through a lot with Dwayne Haskins and a lot of other bullshit during the middle of the year.
Dwayne Haskins, but and Alex Smith and everything like that.
3 first-rounders in their front 4.
Yeah, their front four is scary.
One of the best young middle linebackers in the game right now. It's stacked right now.
Yeah, right now
they just signed Curtis Samuel to go along with the McLaren, so they got it all. They got all the weapons they need. Lamar Miller they signed to a 1-year deal. They kept Brandon Scherff, who's one of the best guards in the league, so they have it. We'll just see what Heineke can do. We'll see or whether they go with Fitzpatrick. I feel like it's a win-win either way. Because that defense is good enough that Fitzpatrick just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be in trouble all night long with that front 4.
I agree. And I believe in the beard.
But like I said, you'll see what Danny Dimes looks like. Like that secondary is going to be godly for the Giants this year.
At the very least,
weapons offensively.
Yeah. At the very least, the NFC East looks like it's going to be more interesting than it has in the last couple of years. So.
I mean, last year it was pretty interesting. It was a 3-horse race going down to the wire.
It was a 3-horse race, all with losing records.
Hey, but once again, that team with the losing record gave the Bucs their toughest game in the playoffs.
Fair enough, but if it was the Eagles or the Cowboys, not the Cowboys, the Giants.
Giants get smoked, probably.
Yeah, so
Eagles definitely get smoked, and what's the other team? Everybody gets smoked. Football team is the best.
Football team is the best.
They might win the Super
All right,
Bowl.
so right now, early prediction. Who do you have? I know you're saying it's a 2-horse race right now. I want to hear it right now.
I'll go football team.
You'll go football team?
Just because I know what I'm getting with Fitzpatrick. I don't know what I'm getting with Danny Dimes.
Fair enough. Okay. So let's go back to the other division in the East, the AFC East. And obviously, again, we're going to be talking about the Patriots. We had a couple of signings here. We did re-sign James White for a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I like it. I didn't think he was coming back. I honestly thought he was going to leave. But it just adds way more depth to an already good running back room. So,
and the value that James White has isn't just in his running game. A lot of it is in his receiving game. You know, he's probably one of the most effective running backs when it comes to catching the ball.
Yeah, outside of maybe Phillip Lindsay.
Yeah.
But the only thing I don't like, the reason why I kind of don't like the signing, because I really wanted to see Damian Harris get more snaps.
Yeah.
But, James White, Sony Michel, Damian Harris, that's a really good trio of backs.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the Lawrence Guy signing. I'm not mad at it. It was a solid DT for us last year.
And it's a re-signing on a 4-year deal, so
we'll see what it looks like.
We'll see what that looks like. Looking at what the Patriots have done in this offseason, there are a lot of names on this list, and for the most part, I like it. It's interesting. It's going to be a completely different looking team than what we're used to. Nick Folk, that one is funny. But speaking of kickers getting re-signed, taking it all the way to the champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have them with two more signings, bringing two of their key players back, re-signing both Ndamukong Suh and Ryan Suckup. I gotta give it to them. They said they were gonna keep the band together, and somehow they found a way to do it. I think the only person that hasn't gone signed is AB right now, which, we were talking about this. I don't see where AB can go, really.
Yeah, I don't. Like we said, Russell Wilson allegedly wants him, but he really should get a tackle first. But that's what he wants. We'll see if he goes there. The Bucs just make sense for him because of Tom.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why you're like, okay, go to the Bucs.
I feel like the Bucs are giving him a contract, and he just feels like it's not enough.
I don't know.
Obviously, we haven't really heard what's going on with that. Whether or not maybe the Bucs just haven't offered him a contract.
Who knows?
But at this point, do the Bucs even have enough capital to sign him?
Cap is a lie. What's his name? Mike Greenberg, I believe, is his name. I'll look it up later, but I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's apparently the cap guy for the Bucs, and apparently he's like a wizard. So he makes like magic happen with these deals, and whether it's restructuring money into signing bonuses, so it's not a hard cap hit or all that stuff that they finagle and do. So they probably could squeeze out a couple more players. Maybe if AB wants to come back for maybe like a 4 or 5 year deal with incentive base, maybe they do get AB back. But it's all up to AB. I don't know if AB thinks he wants more. He didn't really perform all that well in the regular season.
No, he showed up in the playoffs, but I feel like staying in the same team, same play, same playbook is what I'm trying to say. I feel like if he just stays in the same team, he'll probably have a more productive season. Not only just that, he's starting the season off in shape, presumably, of course. So I feel like wherever it is he goes, he's going to perform a lot better than he did last year in the regular season.
Well, we'll see. It's all up to him.
Yeah.
I think the other, speaking of like older wide receivers, Deshaun Jackson going to the Los Angeles Rams on a 1-year deal. That Los Angeles Rams team is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Had the number one defense last year.
I'm looking at their their division, and I'm just like, and they're the best team in that division, hands down. I feel like with the just getting their quarterback was a huge step forward for them. I feel like that's kind of the thing that plagued them and was holding them back. I'd hate to say this, but if Matthew Stafford was on that team when they made their Super Bowl run, it would have been a completely different story.
But like they beat the Patriots?
I feel like it.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I think Todd Gurley being injured is what helped us win that Super Bowl. That's another story for another time.
But I mean,
Deshaun Jackson definitely helps that offense out with Matthew Stafford. Now that wide receiver room is godly. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Deshaun Jackson. That's pretty scary.
That's what I'm saying. They already had the best defense last year, and now their offense is kind of like reaching
catching
that
up a little
top. Bit. I'd give them top 10 in the league, definitely. I don't know if they've reached the top 5. I'd have to go through all the teams, look at their wide receiving core, their tight end room. I mean, their tight ends, their quarterbacks, things like that, and obviously their offensive line. But they got a squad, and in the AFC West, it's kind of crazy to think this, but I believe the 49ers are the worst team in the NFC West right now. Because I believe that the Cardinals have improved. They signed A.J. Green. And, they've gotten Rodney Hudson. They got J.J. Watt. And they've already had a solid, defense. And that kind of just adds to it, and obviously having AJ Green coming in here and helping out. I'm blanking on the other receiver's name. This is killing me right now.
What, Larry Fitzgerald? DeAndre Hopkins?
DeAndre Hopkins, yeah. So having DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Green on the same team, if this was a couple years ago before all the injuries to AJ Green, people would have been like going crazy. I feel like because it's AJ Green hasn't played a full season in a couple of years, I feel like that's kind of like dragging it down. But if he doesn't get injured and he has anywhere close to the talent that he's had in previous years, this is a scary team too.
Yeah, I think it's definitely between the Cards and the 49ers for the worst team in that division. It all depends what happens with Russell. If Russell gets traded, then this is completely different. Then Seattle goes to that bottom of that list instantly.
Russell is the only thing keeping Seattle from being the worst team in that.
So AJ Green and JJ Watt are cool, but they're two guys that are injury prone, severely injury prone, and they're older. So I mean, we'll see if they can even make it this whole year. But on paper, they look good. Once again, 49ers are another team. When healthy, that's a team that is pretty beastie as well. That defense is good. When Garoppolo is healthy and is playing, that team just clicks for whatever reason. I don't know what it is about Garoppolo, but when he is healthy and playing football for that team clicks and wins games.
That's the problem. I don't think he's played a full season healthy.
I don't know if he was healthy that full year they went to the Super Bowl.
No, I don't. But, I'm pretty sure he missed a couple games in the beginning of the year or something like that.
But I mean, like I said, when
he played 2 games in New England. He started 2 games in New England and got injured.
Yeah, that was crazy thing. But Garoppolo wins games.
Garoppolo does win games.
So
if he stays healthy, then I mean we'll see. I think this is going to be a very interesting year for the NFC West. I remember the Cardinals and the 49ers just a couple years ago were just perennial losers, and the Rams, obviously they were the St. Louis Rams at this point. They weren't really doing much either. It was just Seahawks all the way. Now, they kind of, I don't know if it's that they dragged the Seahawks down to their level or they just rose up to the Seahawks level. These are good teams.
Yeah, all 4 teams are good and are capable. But I do think the Rams are at the front of that.
I believe division. So too. Yeah,
they're probably going to win that division. And then obviously with the NFC South, I think the Bucs still win that division.
Yeah, hands down. It's the only team that comes close is the Saints, and they lost Drew Brees. That already kind of knocks them down a peg.
Does it though?
I believe it does. I believe the leadership plays a huge role into that. Now, I'm a big, and you know this. I'm a big Jameis Winston fan. Famous Jameis. I've been on that. I've believed in that guy since the beginning. When I was kind of like the guy that looked at it as like cup half full. Like, yeah, he threw 30 interceptions, but he also threw 30 touchdowns, and he had 5,000 yards. So passing yards. So Jameis Winston, he has an arm. If he can come back on those interceptions, he's definitely a starter in the NFL and a good starter at that. So I'm excited to see what he can do with the Saints. I'm hoping that it's a good year for him. I don't see the Panthers or the Falcons doing anything. I kind of want to touch upon this. I know that in your other podcast, Dropping a Dime, you guys check it out. Maybe you'll leave a link in the description to that. But we're talking about the top 5 quarterbacks coming out of the draft, and I just kind of want to pick your brain a little bit when it comes to that. Just kind of going off of wherever you ended when it came to that list in terms of who the top 5 prospects are. Which teams do you think are going to actually go for those? Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is looking like he's going to be going to
the Jags.
To the Jags. That's kind of like a no question at this point.
The big thing is, are the Jets with Sam Darnold or not? That changes everything up completely. Do they want to keep running with Sam, or are they going to move on?
Let's say they say, you know what? Adam Gase was the problem, and it wasn't Sam Darnold. Let's see what Sam Darnold could do in a better situation. Let's say they keep Sam Darnold.
And then that's another. Okay, there's too many what ifs right now to do this, because is Miami 100% with Tua? That's
Okay.
another one. Is Atlanta the only teams that, if you look at the draft order, that are set? Cincinnati, they got Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit just got Matthew Stafford, so I don't think they're gonna take
Not Detroit, Rams.
My fault. So Detroit's another one. Do they take a quarterback?
They should take a quarterback.
Who else is on this list? Dallas and the Giants don't take a quarterback, right? They both got their franchise guys. San Francisco might take a quarterback. New England's probably gonna take a quarterback. Like, you look at all these teams, and none of them, outside of like
it's such
8 or 9 of them, are set at the QB position. Like, Buffalo's not taking anything. Kansas City, Tampa might mess around and take a quarterback too. Tom's getting old.
Fair enough. He's also
Pittsburgh taking a quarter. There's a lot of teams taking this quarterback. But I mean, if we're going top 5, this is just me spewing nonsense.
Who are the top 5? Real quick, let our viewers know.
Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones are allegedly the top 5 prospects.
In that order for you?
I have Trey Lance over Justin Fields just because I think Trey Lance is a smarter decision maker with the football.
Okay.
Last year, 28 touchdowns to no interceptions. And Trey Lance also has a fucking rocket attached to his arm. If you saw his pro day,
I saw the pro day. That thing was ridiculous.
It's crazy. So that's the only reason why. Justin Fields, I think, and the guy who I do the podcast with, shout out to Mark.
Shout outs.
He said Justin Fields probably going to test better, and I think he does. He's more athletic.
Yeah.
He ran like a
4.41.
Yeah, so he'll have all those measurables down, so that might be more interesting to another. And this is the thing with Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. They're looking like they might take Justin Fields. Yeah. Apparently, the Patriots are high on Justin Fields.
I would love to see the Justin Fields kind of be able to drop a little bit to go to the Patriots. Or
Trevor
the Patriots
Lawrence definitely goes to the Jags. Trevor Lawrence
is definitely
if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're stupid if you don't take that. I think the Jets keep Sam Darnold. I think Miami should take a chance on Tua and keep Tua. I think Atlanta takes Zach Wilson.
Okay.
Cincinnati is good. Philly, that's another. Do you keep Jalen Hurts? That's another Alabama quarterback. I think they rock with Jalen.
Okay.
Detroit. I think you got to take a quarterback if you're Detroit too, right?
Probably.
I guess Justin Fields goes to Detroit.
I'd hate to see that for Justin.
Then Carolina's definitely taking a quarterback. So I guess Trey Lance goes to Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't think Denver is sold on Drew Lock. I don't. And Drew Lock. That's the thing that messes everything up. I think number 9 probably takes that 5th quarterback. I don't think Drew Lock is what Denver thought he would be.
Right.
So I think they definitely go out and take Mac Jones. I don't think any other quarterback lasts inside of that 10 rounds.
And remind me, what pick do the Patriots have?
We have 15. So I don't think, unless we trade up, or unless, like I said, maybe this is just me spewing my nonsense. I don't know. Maybe these teams don't want to get a quarterback. You know what I mean? Maybe, and vice versa. Maybe the Jets, like I said, aren't sold on him, or maybe Miami's not sold on Tua, or whatever. So you don't know how that's going to mix up, and what teams want, because some teams might draft need over want over need. So
yeah, they might look to getting a 2nd or 3rd round QB instead of getting a 1st round.
I mean,
I would love to see the Patriots be able to kind of either trade up to get one of these quarterbacks. I'm not saying that Cam is not the answer, but we're gonna need something after that.
Yeah, definitely. I would like. I forgot his. Oh my god, I forgot his name. There's another quarterback in the draft, but his name is eluding me. But if worse comes to worse, I guess we get stuck with him. We draft him. I don't know. But
what I will say, and this hurts me a little bit because I'm a big Buckeyes fan. I haven't seen Ohio State quarterbacks translate to the NFL very well. You had Cardell Jones a couple of years ago. He became a backup, I think, for the Bills. Never heard his name ever again after that. I think he ended up playing for the XFL or something.
That's cool.
This guy, blanking on his name. Dwayne Haskins, another quarterback, another Buckeyes quarterback.
He might get a shot.
He should get a shot. I don't feel like it's 100% his fault. The Washington football team was just a dysfunctional for the first year that he was there, and then the second year it was just kind of like weird thing happening
Haskins
with him.
Was over here in booty clubs.
Yeah,
getting grinded up on. But hey, live your life.
Live your life.
Go grind up on some booty chicks.
I just hope like Justin Fields. I hope he's the breakout star when it comes to the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's just me being a Buckeyes fan, kind of just putting my 2 cents out there. So
maybe I don't know. That's the thing, because the Zach Wilson thing really fucked a lot of things up. Because for whatever reason, he shot up the draft boards out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it seemed
that
like
was
it
really
looked like
weird.
he was going to be a mid to later first round pick, and all of a sudden he's probably projected to go number 2. Or some people even have him over fucking Trevor Lawrence in their things.
Stop.
But
Stop.
I don't know. And then the whole the Devontae Smith thing. I don't know about Devontae Smith.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening. But
That guy is built like a child. It's really, and he came in weighing 170, talking about I'm not going to put on any extra weight for the NFL. He's probably, don't get me wrong, he's probably the most talented wide receiver in this draft class. Definitely the best route runner.
But my man's gonna get torn apart.
And now, especially with the way the league is, you're taught not to hit high anymore. So guys go low. Have you seen his legs? It's not a joke. Like, they look scary skinny.
Oh my god.
They're going to snap when you got a 250-pound middle linebacker coming at your legs.
Here's praying for the best for him when it comes
Devontae,
to the NFL.
do something. Do some squats, bro.
All right. So, I think when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to free agency and things like that, we talked about all the important things. I'm sure we missed a couple things, but right now I think the biggest thing for the NFL is going to be the draft, and that's coming up soon. So
in April, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely talk more about the NFL and just the offseason once that rolls around. I think maybe we will come up with a list of the top prospects coming out of the draft. We'll see what happens. But
April 29th. If you'd be down, we could do like a mock first round draft.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Let us know if you're interested in that. We're probably still going to do it anyway. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of kind of the topics we were talking about, and I want to know your opinion. Who is going to be taking over the NFC East? I want to know who's going to win that division. Let us know in the comments down below. I am Omar Reyes. This was Carlos Perez. Thank you for watching.
How's it going, guys? All right, that's a lot of fingers.